Zydoc is a medical transcription company that utilizes AI in order to capture patient notes during an interaction with a physician. The issue that the industry has right now, and where Zydoc steps in, is that the AI by itself isn't smart. It makes what we call hallucinations. There's a lot of errors. So that can really have an effect on the diagnosis of a patient. Medications are spelled incorrectly. The context of the visit is completely missing sometimes. And most of the big companies are using off-the-shelf AI tools, and most patients don't know that. In fact, most IT teams in enterprise systems don't understand that. At the end of the day, the physician has to go back and correct all of it. They have to go back and line item correct it, which is extremely time-consuming, frustrating. Zidoc is able to integrate expert medical language specialists that are trained in tertiary care specialties. All of the notes come out corrected and nearly flawless the first time. The physician just has to sign off, and in one click, it goes into the EHR, perfectly formatted, on letterhead. All the insertion events are great. It saves a ton of time. That's basically what the platform does. It's a really deep, tactical approach to solving an enormous industry problem. And Zidoc brought me in recently as a fractional CMO to lift them into the next wave of growth. And that also includes using my background in venture capital and fundraising to allow them to raise so that we can scale the company. You need somebody that can execute on creative, that can conceptualize and design it from nothing, can take a brief and turn it into something tactical and tangible, and understand the end user's utility in doing so, while still keeping in context the surround sound you're trying to create with your brand. It's very important to do all of that. And so when you look at scaling a company, there's a couple of key players that need to come in right away. One is someone who does marketing and sales, and the other is somebody that can do creative, including UI, UX, mostly conceptually and in design, and that can also just work on across all the digital platforms that we have and create assets as we need. That's the most critical. If you have those two things and they work in conjunction very well, you're going to move the ball a lot farther down the field than somebody who doesn't understand that concept. It's also a piece of advice. Get a creative person first, but make sure they have the technical skills to go with the crazy that you're going to have to be handing them. So when we looked at where and how to bring in a partner, Fraction was a perfect choice because we knew that we could work with people who understand the startup environment, and they also understand that we're multitasking, we're touching multiple pieces of the business at the same time. We don't have time necessarily to get into the weeds. And we could get someone mature enough and senior enough to understand that, hey, look, I have a skeleton pitch deck here. It's ugly. It is an ugly, ugly baby. There's probably some bad copy in here. It might not make sense, but here's some diagramming, here's some outlines. Can you take that and run with it and be okay with refining it as we go, knowing that I'm taking the pressure off to make it perfect the first time. I don't need that. I just need partnership, right? And that's what John did for us immediately. It was an immediate business partner, which is exactly what we needed. Business partner first, artist and creative director second, and that is exactly what John gave us, and it's perfect. It's a perfect fit. I don't think I was anticipating seeing a well-formatted rebranding so quickly. So I really was grateful for that. He was pretty insistent that we started everything in Figma. I thought, well, I'm not sure, and second guessing myself constantly. John's been able to say, no, you're right to ask for that. Go with that. Go with your instinct. We're gonna make this work. Okay, cool. And everything that we do is based on the idea that it's utility. We're going to kill multiple birds with one stone across everything that we build. So he's building everything in very, very intentfully, pulling me back off the ledge when I need to be, and then just taking things and running with them. And he has the space to do what he needs to do. And it's a really good working relationship. I don't think that would have happened had we not gone through Fraction or had John in particular. Having an organization like Fraction prep and vet the talent to a level where they can work within whatever strategy that you are selling at the time is really important. You need somebody that can jump in and get that you're in a growth stage, that you're 2 to 3 years in your company, or maybe you're 20 years in your company, and you're very mature and you have a very strict and set guideline on how you operate, you need to have talent that can just step into the fold and work within your strategy. So having senior level that understands strategic planning is extremely important. And that's the number one reason to work with Fraction. The other is that you have people who are multifaceted and dynamic. So you're not beholden to needing to hire many in niche verticals that don't talk to each other. You can hire one person fractionally who understands business context and use case and can jump in with their expertise where they're needed. And it's a brilliant model. It's how the world is moving. You need people that can work across the digital assets, because as that happened, everything's exploded. We now need several sizes for everything in several lengths, in several languages. You're going to need somebody that can roll with that and just be in the trenches with you. And that's what Fraction is designed to do. So those are the two biggest reasons right there.